Greetings, my fellow Pipetarians. This is Christmas Advent Pipe Devotional number 7. It'll be Saturday, and back again with my Savinelli St. Nicholas 2018 pipe. And I thought I'd show you something real fast. Most Savinellis are 6mm balsa wood filter pipes. That is, they give you a little triangular balsa wood piece of wood, and then you stick it in, and air doesn't really go through it. It kind of goes around it, and I think it's supposed to pull out moisture out of the tobacco. But they understand that a lot of people like the 9mm filters, and so they've been making them bigger. And I have to sometimes order out of the States, which I think is what I did with this back when I got this. And it's very interesting because I've never seen one. It had a 9mm balsa wood filter. I'm gonna pop this open. I know normally you're not supposed to do that with a hot pipe, but it's not that hot. I just lit it really for this. But you pull it off, and you can see this piece of wood that's in here. And the wood just comes out. That's all it is. It's really not much of anything. But you see, it's just the tobacco smoke blows past it. It collects whatever it's supposed to collect, I suppose. The weird thing is it seems a bit wider than what I'm trying to use. But here I have a Dr. Pearl charcoal filter. You put the blue in toward your mouth. I always tell people the blue is kind of like water, right? So your mouth goes toward your mouth. So you stick that in there. Oh, it does fit perfectly. What do you know? I knew it would. At least I thought it would. I just thought that was a huge balsa wood thing, which I'm not going to use anymore because I like the smoke to go through the filter. Not around it. All right, so here we are, smoking our pipe, moving along. The tobacco today is I got another holiday tobacco, sort of, called Celebration. It's not in there anymore because I put it into something else. But this is from Milan Tobacconist out of Virginia. They do their own. Have their own blends that they mix. And I happen to find a bunch of these on Amazon where you can, I was looking for something that was the size of a normal tobacco tin. I just stuck it in there. Gold, rather Christmassy, right? Yeah, so I've done that with a lot of my pipes, a lot of my tobaccos. Start sticking them in this thing. It actually has a kind of a sealer right here. So all I need to do now is get a little humid disc, put it in there, and we'll be good. So there we are. So we're smoking a tobacco that is called Celebration. It's because Milan Tobacconists celebrated 100 years, I guess, in the business, and so they made this celebration. And of course, we're celebrating something too, right? We're celebrating Jesus' birthday, which has been a couple thousand years going on. And there's all kinds of things you celebrate, right, in life. Celebrate birthdays, celebrate big events, celebrate Thanksgiving we just went through, right? Easter will be coming, New Year's Day, St. Patrick's Day, a lot of different things. Well, I was looking at this tobacco thinking, how many people think it's wrong to celebrate Christmas? And there are brothers and sisters out there who say, well, it's not in the New Testament, it's not in the Bible, we shouldn't do it. And there are a lot of things in the Bible that aren't in the Bible. Sometimes we call that adiaphora or things indifferent, if it's neither moral or immoral, it's just a thing, and it is what it is, and what you do with it is what makes it what it is. I would think that celebrating the birth of Christ as a special holiday would be a good Christian, godly thing to do. I mean, certainly all the passages of Scripture that we're going through, pulling them out of the Bible about the birth of Christ and the Annunciation to Mary and to the wise men, the shepherds, all this is going on. This is all the Christmas story, and it all leads up to gospel, the whole message that we're preaching. So why wouldn't you celebrate the coming of Christ, the incarnation of God, on a particular day, even if we don't know which particular day it happened and we just stick it on one? And I think that's one of the issues. People say, well, we don't have a birth date, we're just sticking it on some kind of pagan holiday. Well, we all have the same amount of days in the year, and if they want to stick something on their day and we stick something on that same day, maybe with the hopes of knocking it out, then so be it. It doesn't make it pagan. We're not worshiping any kind of pagan deity on Christmas. It's all about God. It's all about Jesus Christ. It's all about the gospel. It's all about the change of history from BC to AD. It's all about assurance of heaven and salvation by grace through faith. It's a big deal. I think we should celebrate Christmas. There are always things that we don't like about it, stuff that adds in there and it kind of detracts sometimes. I'm trying to find those things that maybe detract or maybe aren't, part and parcel of the Bible message, and just seeing if we can pull out of that the good. As they say, eat the fruit, spit out the pits. That's kind of what we have to do, especially as Christians in a world that wants to just put a whole bunch of stuff on there. But I don't run into a whole lot of Christians that act like that. A lot of cults do. But there are good, godly Christians that have objections to celebrating Christmas. They have objections to celebrating Halloween. They have objections to celebrating a lot of these things because they just don't find it in Scripture. And so I wanted to read a passage out of Romans chapter 14. It begins with, "Receive one who is weak in the faith, but not to dispute over doubtful things." This could be considered a doubtful thing. So I'd like to skip down. And verse 5 says, "One person esteems one day above another, another esteems every day alike. Let each be fully convinced in his own mind. He who observes the day observes it to the Lord, and he who does not observe the day, to the Lord he does not observe it. He who eats, eats to the Lord, for he gives God thanks, and he who does not eat, to the Lord he does not eat, and gives God thanks." So within the church, and I mean the church at large, we ought not to dispute about this or debate. Well, I don't mind a good debate, but I mean, we shouldn't look down on one another or something as if we're somehow less spiritual or something. If we do something or if we don't do something, we're both doing this particular thing for the glory of God, hopefully, and it reminds us all of God's coming to us. It's such a great thing. But there are people outside of our faith that this doesn't pertain to. The Jehovah's Witnesses, for example, are a cult that they don't believe in the incarnation. I mean, certainly they believe Jesus was born, but they don't believe that he is God incarnate. They don't celebrate birthdays, so they're certainly not going to celebrate the birthday of God incarnate. Neither way is going to work. My son and I used to, during Christmas, we'd walk down the street from our house and we'd see them knocking on doors, trying to win people to their cult. And we'd be nice. We'd say, "Well, Merry Christmas." And it was a little joke for us because we know they don't celebrate Christmas. But the unfortunate thing is, it's not that we're judging them for not celebrating our holiday. It's really not theirs. So they probably shouldn't celebrate something that is not really the truth. If they don't believe something like that, they wouldn't celebrate it. And, so I understand that. But this passage I just read is between Christians. And personally, you know how I feel. I esteem Christmas. I esteem the holiday. I say celebrate. Smoke your celebration tobacco. It's a little wet, this tobacco. I think if I laid it out a little bit and dried it just a tad, it'd work better. But it's tasty tobacco. It's a Virginia burley. It's supposed to have citrus and rum and vanilla notes. I'm having a hard time discerning all that. It's difficult to do, to light up some kind of tobacco that you're trying for the very first time and assess it in 5 or 10 minutes. But let me just say, Christmas is a wonderful celebration. It's a wonderful time to celebrate. There's all kinds of things about it that we want to celebrate. There's all kinds of reminders about the Lord that we worship. And so I say, stick with it, celebrate it, and don't look down on others who don't. There are other denominations that probably frown on it. But, as long as we keep it in the camp, we just lift each other up. We don't divide over such a silly thing as which holiday I'm going to celebrate or not celebrate. But for those of you watching this, you're probably with me. Christmas is a good time, and we'll be making Christmas cookies and giving out Christmas presents and going to Christmas services and celebrating Christmas at Christmas. I can't wait to get some lights up on my house because my neighbor is really lit up, and he's got the nativity and all kinds of stuff out there, which I just think is a great advertisement for people to drive by. Anyway, I won't hold you any further. Simply smoking my Savinelli pipe, St. Nicholas pipe, smoking Celebration from Milan Tobacconist. I read for you Romans chapter 14 from the New King James Version. I just like the way they say it in that particular one on this particular passage. So I've been trying to move around, use different translations each time we get together. So God bless you all. Happy Advent. Keep on, keep reflecting, keep thinking about these things. My little tidbits are just the tip of the iceberg. They all go deeper, and you could have a longer study, you could have sermons out of it and all kinds of other things. But hey, got you thinking, and we're supposed to be meditating on his word day and night, aren't we? So, all right. Merry Christmas once again. Pipeatarian out.